Tippy time my damies, Top Cat here and welcome back to the channel. Although the Void Hunter is our original trapper, I never really got on board this playstyle until we got to hybridize with both our Prismatic subclass and our exotic class item. I've used this combo 3 times before, but then my clanmate Poto saw some cat running it inside a GM, he adapted it, gave it to another, then I poached it and gave it a TC once over. It's great for controlling dense populations, particularly in our Battleground Grandmasters. It centers around that snare bomb. They got better last season, adding bonus corrosive damage, whilst weakening nearby targets by 15% to targets trapped in that smoke cloud over time. What makes this kit better now is that we can pair that Gambler's Dodge to refuel our melee charge whenever we use our Ascension Arc aspect near targets. It's great as not only does that arc fart do more damage, but we can loop in that trapper smoke constantly thanks to our Spirit of Inmost Light. This season the best grapple to use is that grapple melee. It's got the lowest cooldown on it, so we've got plenty of them, and it will add unravel particles to our area of effect orgy. With the Spirit of Inmost Light, we use an ability, and it's going to empower the other 2 abilities, granting them improved energy regeneration. It works in 2 stages, firstly 400%, then an 800% bonus recharge rate to our melees. This is the same to our grenades, also getting that 400 and 800% recharge rate boost. Yet our class recharge is only a 25% bonus and a 50% bonus. Whilst this sounds significantly lower, you gotta remember, particularly on a hunter, we have an extremely quick dodge recharge rate. So now with more smokes than Cheech and Chong, arc farts and Tarzan swings, we want to dump some weapon damage over time on them. We've got 4 great dot weapons that the community loves: the Anarchy, the Lost Signal, Velocity Baton, and the Psychopomp. Whatever you pick, we dump some of that on the enemies below, and then with that Horde Shuttle perk and the artifact, when we damage unraveled targets with our weapons, it's going to spawn threadlings, and these threadlings are going to sever targets to reduce their damage output by 40%. The second toy we have on that Superman cape is the Spirit of Sotorachne. It's going to grant us Woven Mail, giving us that 45% damage resist for 10 seconds whenever we use a grenade. The dot weapon I chose was the Psychopomp. It's got tons of great perks on it. I've got Enhanced Pugilist, so our final blows generate 11% melee energy, and when we deal melee damage, it improves this weapon's handling. Then with Enhanced Demolitionist, our weapon kills give us 11% grenade energy, and we can also activate our grenade to reload it from reserves. This way, whether we have to manually reload it or it auto loads, we've got 2 great bonuses making that pomp pump. Now I ran this both through some GMs and Lost Sectors. It absolutely sang in Lost Sectors. When it came to the GMs, in the newer and rework strikes, the kit worked harder, but with some of the classic strikes like Scarlet Keep, Inside Terminus, and Warden of Nothing, it didn't suck, but it didn't shine, as realistically we're just bouncing from champ to champ, not really having to deal with waves of darkness. Being that our GLs aren't champ stunners, and because we got so many of those smoke bombs, I chose to run the Facet of Dawn, where our melee hits against targets make us radiant, to increase both our weapon damage by 20%, and importantly, whilst we're radiant, our weapons become anti-barrier weapons. This way, when I smoke them and dump a round of aerial denial on them, that barrier shield should self-break, giving me time to finish them off with my other weapons. Now we're still going hard on that trapper mentality with Styles Executioner, so when defeating a target affected by an elemental debuff, it's going to grant us invisibility. With this kit, each one of our abilities applies a debuff, so now we can dance from shadow to shadow, applying ability and weapon damage when we're good and ready. We've got Facet of Hope, so whilst we have an elemental buff, our class ability regeneration rate is 60% faster, and this kit gives us access to Amplified, Radiant, Invisibility, and Woven Mail. Needless to say, that class charge is always spooled up and boosted. With Balance, when we rapidly defeat targets with light damage to generate melee energy, and darkness damage to generate grenade energy. On our gauntlets, we've got that traditional Hunter mod Circle Jerk, where with Impact Induction, melees boost our grenade cooldown, Momentum Transfer, our grenades boost our melee cooldown, and then Focusing Strike, our melees boost our class cooldown, all of which are boosted by 12% for 7 seconds. Now don't forget, when we pop that pink with our Prismatic, Our class items are still working for us. Not only does this allow us to generate abilities faster whilst in Transcendence, but it will also give us that woven mail whilst we're yeeting out those hail spikes. Run a siphon mod on our helmet to make sure whatever dot weapon we choose is going to make us orbs of power. Then with orbs of restoration, I get 10% increase to our charge rate to my lowest charged ability. And with those orbs, we're going to boost my health with recuperation. This kit works best when we're in the thick of it, so with Facet protection, whilst we're surrounded, we get a 15% DR, and whilst Transcendent, this is boosted to a 32% damage resist. I have Facet Awakening, so when we rapidly defeat targets with either light or darkness damage, it's going to generate us an elemental pickup matching their damage type. Any of which are great, it doesn't matter, as our Void Breaches give us more dodge abilities, Ionic Traces speed all our abilities, and if we make a Tangle, even better. I try and rock a Strain weapon in that top slot. I've got Refusal to Call, so I can make the most of their Unraveling Orbs to give our Strain weapons Unraveling rounds. And we got that 2 Shreds perk that came out in Act 3. When we deal sustained damage to severed targets, it unravels them, then severs them, then creates a Strain hotspot for a little pocket of woven mail. As it's a Trapper kit, I went for the OG Trapper Super, the Void Tether, but if you got a favourite, feel free to use it, it won't affect the kit overall. To maximise our area of effect damage though, I'll try to rock a Void Heavy Weapon, so we can utilise a Volatile Marksman to give us easy access to volatile rounds, and Maligned Harvest to turn those volatile explosions into weakening explosions. Then with Void Flux, turning that back on itself again, so weakened targets explode into volatile explosions. And yes, if we destroyed a target with our Smoke and Ascension Fart Tornado, this will spew up volatile. Now feel free to pause here for all my fragments, artifacts and mods, but there will be a dim link in the description down below. The major stats we want of course are 100 Resil and 100 Discipline. Both mobility and recovery we want between 50 to 70, with both intellect and strength sitting around 30. Despite being a smoke bomb build, we don't need to spec for that melee, as our fragments, our class item, and that rework to Ascension and Gambler's Dodge will give us plenty of smoke bombs, that 70 show style. I know it's a pretty popular class item, I'd love to hear how you're using it, so hit me up in the comments down below. Make sure to thumb it if you dug it, sub if you're new, and as always, tippy time, damies, what a tie.